good question. Okay, without a doubt, I mean, everybody knows how obsessed I am with William Shakespeare. However, who I would revive absolutely would be Oscar Wilde. And I would do that because I think I have so many questions. Like I have so much to say to him, and I think because not only because of his writing, which is amazing and some of my favorite. I mean, I'd recommend to anyone who hasn't read it. It's a classic, but if you haven't read it in any language, find the Picture of Dorian Gray, because it's one of the best books on the planet. But not only because he's a great writer, and not only because he's very, he's one of the funniest writers of all time, and the wit and the humor and the sarcasm and the social critique and all of that is something that I very much respect and relate to and try to find some part of myself in. But that he essentially went from being a famous, respected writer to pretty much dying in a gutter because his individualism was not accepted. He was thrown in prison and basically just torn apart for being homosexual. And so I think I would just like to have tea with him and just tell him, I'm sorry. Not from me, but, on behalf of the world in Victorian times, that, that's exactly what I'm trying to stop in my own little way, is people being treated like he was, and that a really harsh society that was very, very conservatively minded was able to basically murder one of the most brilliant minds that I think may have ever been. So I would definitely like to have tea with Oscar Wilde. That's a long answer to a short question.
I'll spend eternity comparing all my poetry to yours. I want to see love through your eyes. You'll never have to compromise. I give up all my fame to fight your demons and your bloody wars. I want to let it all. I will swallow every out my fear.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's a good question. Let me think about that. I would, I almost want to say another artist, but because it would seem less egotistical or something, but I have to say that it is one of my own, and it's my favorite song I've ever written, and it's The Art of Suicide. And that's the song that just, it means so much to me, and I don't know if this will make sense to anybody else, but to me, that song is the one that pretty much says, in a small way, pretty much says everything I ever needed to say about anything. And sometimes I actually do, like when I perform it on stage afterwards, I think I don't need to write anything else ever, because that pretty much said it all. And it sounds crazy, but sometimes I do have to just kind of argue myself into keep writing after that, because saying, no, you still do have things to say, that wasn't everything. But sometimes in life, like whether it's a book we read or a song or even something we write ourselves, like a message is so clean and perfect and just concise and done that you think anything I say after that is just going to muddy it up, like, just saying too much after a good conversation. But I still am writing after that, but that definitely is a song. It's the only song that I've written that I feel like I could just stop after that, and I would have said what I was put here to say. Oh my God, the asylum cat! Oh God, you know about it. She's the rats have named her Fish, and it's because even though she's a cat, she seems to be really excited about water. So they've named her that, and they're all getting along extremely well. We just found her in here in the asylum one day, and she didn't go away. And we were all very worried that she would go after all the rats, but they've become great friends, and they actually sleep together, and she carries them around on her back sometimes. Yeah, we have a new little kitty cat inmate in the asylum. Her name is Fish. Fishy, Fishy. I'm actually looking at her right now. Hi, Fishy. Oh God, yeah, she's so sweet. She's a very good new addition to our crazy little family. It's so difficult to. I always have trouble with a question like that because there isn't any one particular thing, but I think in music, the performance that I most admire and am inspired by in so many ways are, of course, Freddie Mercury, David Bowie, and Morrissey, actually. And so in music and performance, it's always people who are not just one thing. They're not just singers or not just writers, but they're great performers as well. And that's something that obviously is really important to me, is that a show should be not just somebody standing on stage singing, an exact version of a record that they wrote. A show should be a show. And that's something that is bigger than everything else and stands on its own and should combine all of these things. So I've always been inspired by those people that just fearlessly get up there and are incredibly unique and love the theatrical aspect, because I love theater, obviously. But I think even more than musical inspiration, I think the things that really inspire me are writers like Oscar Wilde and Shakespeare, and just people. I love words, and so I love words. I love reading, and just how do I say this easily? I think just the practice of reading somebody else's thoughts helps to train your mind to say your own thoughts clearer. And so, as a writer, I've been much more inspired by authors than I ever was by any musicians, which is strange, but definitely true. Which I guess makes sense now that I wrote a book, so I guess it's not that hard after all. It's still so strange, because that's absolutely true what you said. That's the honest truth of how I felt about it at the time. And I think that I just feel incredibly lucky that somebody heard it and shared it with somebody else, who shared it with somebody else, and that it came to mean something to so many people. I am still just, I almost can't process it in my mind that something so personal to me became so personal to other people. I just honestly never, ever expected that. And it's not about, because I'm not incredibly famous. I'm not, a massive celebrity. It's not about that. It's not about this record became famous, because it's not really famous. It's still kind of underground, whatever. So it's not about something getting known to a lot of people. It's about that it means something to a lot of people. I never expected people to be that open to something that I wrote, to where they could allow it to mean, to get inside them and mean something to them. And I think that it's just proven the theory that if you write something that means something that means a great deal to you, chances are it'll mean a great deal to someone else. Because I always say, we're all individuals, but in a lot of ways we're not that different, and that what means a lot to me will probably mean a lot to you or somebody. Because if you care about something that much, chances are there's somebody else that's going to care about that too. If you're really, really honest and sincere. And I was when I wrote that, so I guess in that way it makes sense, but something that I never expected anyone to hear would end up meaning something to people. So that's the long answer, but the short answer is I'm still completely surprised that people know the words to these songs. And every show that I go to, and especially in places like South America or parts of Europe where I don't expect that the audience will know the words and know every word to all of these songs, they do. And I am always surprised. I think I'll always be surprised at that. It's just incredible to me. I still can't quite wrap my head around that. But it's amazing.
It's not the time, it's not the place. I'm just another craving, so don't come any closer. You're not the first, you're not the last.
Hello, Rockombia. This is Emilie Autumn coming to Spread the Plague. Get ready. We will see you soon.
Two, I want you. You're getting warm, you're getting warm, you're getting warmer. Oh, did you plan this? Did you carry it? Who's getting warmer now?